Okay guys, thanks for joining us today. We're gonna do some basic burger grilling today. I have the Weber out today. This is my 22-inch Weber kettle. This is one of the cheapest grills that I recommend you using. I'm not using the Primo. I'm not using a smoker today. I'm just doing burgers. So I want you guys to stay tuned. We're gonna do basic burgers. I got a few tips that I wanna share with you guys that's gonna make your burgers overall better. So as you can see, there's nothing special about this. This grill is quite dirty right now, but we're gonna clean it up. We're gonna start a fire and it's gonna go great. Stay tuned. Okay guys, first step, as you know, we need to light the fire. We have the chimney all set up. I used a lot of the old charcoal and also added a little bit of new charcoal just to get the chimney nice and full. And so I know some of you guys already know this, but I've really been enjoying these Fire Dragon cubes lately. I highly recommend them. It's solid fuel. It is clean. It smells good. It's essentially solid hand sanitizer. And it works great. This stuff lights up quickly. It burns nice and tall. I've tried to be cheap and I've tried to, take a look at that. Not what I meant to do. I've tried to be cheap before and I've tried to reuse this stuff and it simply evaporates. So I don't think that you can get more than one use out of it. I've cut it in half. I put it in a Ziploc bag thinking I was gonna be able to reuse it. Didn't work out that way. We just drop this in here, light it. Watch how tall this flame comes up. Look there, already. And the wind is high. I'm gonna put this on. These coals are gonna be ready to go before you know it. In the meantime, let's go get the meat. Okay, over here we have our burgers right over here. And this is some 91% lean meat. This is halal beef. And I normally don't get beef this lean. I normally don't get beef this expensive. But there is a certain amount of panic that's going on. I won't say why the panic is going on, but I think you guys all know what's happening. This is 2020, and there's a lot going on right now. So there's a lot of panic buying that was happening. I was able to get a hold of this, and we're thankful to have it. I'm just going to season this up with some basic, kind of a basic rub. This is something that was given to me earlier. This is roasted garlic and beer. And I'm also going to put some black pepper on it. So we're going to keep this pretty simple. I know that the wife has formed up these patties. She's done a great job with that. And she has made them nice. Notice things don't have to be super duper uniform. They don't have to be super duper thin. Also, this is real beef. These are real burgers. This is not prefabricated patties. So I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to take some of that rub and I'm going to put some of this black pepper on it. We're going to season it up. We're going to put it on the grill. And again, I want you to stay tuned. I have 3 tips that I want to share with you guys for basic burgers. So this is basic burger, how to get what you want from your burgers without a lot of fuss. All right, guys, thanks for staying with me here. This fire is looking about ready. The flames are starting to come up to the top a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see as much around here on the side. Let me see if I can get a little bit of that. It's popping, it's carrying on. You can hear it, but there is fire in there. I don't like to let my fire get too high because it pops. This is lump charcoal. After all, lump charcoal will spark and it will pop, much like fireworks sometimes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and dump this. That is hot. All right, so now we have our fire in there. You can see it, you can hear it, I can feel it. It is popping. So let me go get my my fire tool and I'll be right back. All right, guys, this is burgers 101. This is basic burger cooking that we're doing today. And one of the first things, I want to acknowledge one of my commenters on a YouTube video. His name is Desamon Diary, and I apologize up front because I can almost guarantee you I just butchered that name. But he has posted asking for some information about some basic grilling. Not using an expensive setup, but a basic setup. So that's what we're going to do today. This is about as basic as we get. I recommend this. And when we're talking barbecue basics, one of the first things you want is the ability to control your temperature. If you are cooking with, hang on just a minute. All right, there we go. So you want the ability to control your temperature. With this particular grill, I have grates on the bottom and grates on the top that allows me to control the airflow, which allows me to control the heat. It allows me to control the grill. So tip number one, choose a grill where you can control the temperature. I know sometimes we try and cook out on those grills at parks that just are kind of open on one side, there's no top. Those things are really hard to use, guys. You can use them, you may have some good results, but that is a difficult grill to use. I recommend using something with a lid, something where you can control the temperature. So that is tip number one. Choose a grill where you can control the temperature. Okay, guys. As I said, you want to be able to control your temperature. You want to have some degree of, actually you want to have as much control as possible over this. Now take a look. You will notice that the flames are not as high. The second tip, this is tip number two, where we at here? Tip number two, you want to cook with heat, not necessarily direct flame. Some people really have this mentality that flame has to be touching the burgers in order to cook it. No, that is not true. You simply want heat, not direct flame, to cook your burgers. So that is tip number two. Heat, not necessarily direct flame to cook your burgers. You will still get delicious burgers. You will still get beautiful grill marks, the whole thing that you want from your grilled burgers. You'll still get that. Doesn't have to be direct flame. All right, tip number three. Hopefully you guys can see this. Tip number three is season your burger. Absolutely, positively do not put naked meat on the grill. Season the burgers. Doesn't matter if they're prefabricated patties, if it's ground beef that's been formed into patties, make sure to put some seasoning on those burgers. It's super duper important. I showed you what I did for these guys. I sprinkled it liberally on both sides. Liberally, no politics involved, but you want to make sure to have plenty of flavor on this. There's also some olive oil that's mixed into this. There's also some Worcestershire. My wife does not believe in unseasoned food as well. So before she even handed these patties off to me, she'd already put some amount of seasoning in it as well. So tip number three, make sure you season those burgers. It's a beautiful sound. All right, meat's on. Let's close this up. Let it cook. Okay, I want to take a little peek here. Oh yeah, those are looking good. Coming along nicely. Notice I arranged them around the edge so that they wouldn't be over direct heat too much. I don't want to burn these. I want them to cook evenly throughout. I definitely don't want to burn them. Notice, I opened the lid and I looked, but I didn't see the need to move the burgers around, especially with those burgers being something that is not mechanically manufactured. It's not something that those burgers are going to fall apart if you're not careful. That is loosely compacted, which is a good thing. That's going to be more tender. It's going to be possibly juicier as we go to eat this. But don't move the meat around unnecessarily. Don't move the meat around if you don't have to. It will want to stick, it'll want to crumble, and just avoid it if you can. Put it down, let it stay, let it cook on that side, but don't move it if you don't have to. Okay, so we're going to take a peek, and we're going to see if these guys are ready to be turned. I'm going to lift up a little bit. All right, you see how easily that moves? That's a good sign. That's telling me that this one can be turned. Notice, let's see over here. That one can be turned. They're not sticking to the grill. That's exactly what you want. If they're sticking, they're not ready to be turned over. So we're going to start flipping these guys. Take a look. Oh my goodness, I hope the camera's capturing that. I hope you can see it well enough. It helps to have the right spatula. That's burning my hand. That is looking delicious. Come around over here. Oh yeah, that one's got some great color on it. Oh my goodness. And the last one. Well, pushing it all the way over the grill. Leave that guy over just a smidge. All right, now, one thing that you will notice, this is the most important tip, I think I may be up to tip number 5. Whatever you do, if you do nothing else, please, 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 I beg of you, do not squish the burgers. Do not squeeze the juice out of the burger. Some people like to do that. They'll squish them and you hear that. That is your flavor. That is your tenderness leaving. Do not do that. Please, please, please do not mash the burgers. If you don't remember anything else, do not mash the burgers. If you see somebody doing that, stop them. It's a crime against humanity. Do not mash the burgers. All right? Okay, guys, time for another tip. Use a food thermometer. Use a good one. This happens to be a Thermopin. I bought this. This is one I've been wanting for a while. So a Thermopin. Use a good instant read food thermometer. I know that some people recommend you do something weird with your hand, you know, to where if it's like this and that's somehow medium rare and this is more well, some weird stuff. Look, don't touch yourself, okay? Don't be out here touching yourself while you're cooking. Use a food thermometer. Something with a good temperature probe on here. So minimum recommendations for ground beef, or ground meat rather, is 160. So we'll kind of probe these a little bit. 140, that's about where I want it to be. So I'm gonna pull these soon. You will notice that there's still plenty of juice in this. Yeah, these are ready here. I'm gonna pull them a little early. I am gonna confess something to you guys. Are you ready for this? I prefer my burgers a little bit more well done than some of you do. Yeah, I know you're hissing, you're booing in the comments, but guess what, guys? Respectfully, you're not the ones eating it. I am. So I like mine the way I like mine. You like yours the way you like yours. If we ever get a chance to eat together, I'll cook yours the way you want it. Please do the same for me. So I don't like it well done. I like it medium well, typically. So I'm gonna let these go a little bit, but I'm gonna start pulling them off, and hopefully you can get a sense of what temperature you like yours. I think I like mine closer to the 160. That's about right. That should still have plenty of juice, plenty of flavor. That ought to still have a little bit of pink in it, so it won't be tough all the way through. But that's just me. So you do it the way that you want it, and use a good temperature probe base thermometer instant read as this one. That way you'll know exactly what's going on. You don't have to break your burgers open while they're on the grill. You want to avoid that whenever possible. Okay, let's have another look, shall we? Notice we got some excuse me, notice we got some beautiful color on these. These are grilled burgers, and we want them to look that way. We want them to have that look, that taste, that texture. Let's see here. You guys see that all right? I hope you can. That looks delicious. Still very juicy. I like to take them off and let them rest a little bit. That's another good basic of grilling or cooking meat, really of any kind. You want to let them rest a bit. The temperature will go up. There's a bit of carryover cooking. Now these aren't that thick, so there's not as much mass as some other cuts of meat. Like if we were doing a brisket or pork butt, those have a lot of mass, so there's a lot more carryover cooking that takes place. But these guys will give you a little bit of carryover cooking. Oh, that looks beautiful. Smells delicious. All right, guys, there we have it. What do you think? Looking good? I think so. Now, we're all done cooking, but we still got a whole lot of heat. What do? This is one of the great things about a grill, that you can control the temperature. Basically, you cut off the air supply and you choke the fire out. So I turn off the top vent and the bottom vent. There's hot coals falling out of there. Dust and ash, but you get the idea. That way you can reuse these coals later. This is lump charcoal. I do reuse lump charcoal. I personally don't reuse briquettes, but I got no problem reusing lump charcoal. All right, so here's the finished product, and we're gonna make the Mrs. plate. She actually prefers hers without a bun. She likes to eat healthy, so you can see all the greens that she enjoys. So let's see if we can pick her a good one. You have a preference, love?
All of them look great.
All right, let's go with this guy here. It's already a little bit broken open, but here, let's use this. Hopefully you guys can see. Look at that. Nice, tender. It's still really soft. It's juicy. I don't know if you see all of the juice in here, but this is what we do, guys, grilled burgers. So hopefully you learned some things. Hopefully you'll apply some of these basics, and hopefully you'll get a chance to enjoy some food that you really enjoy, and be able to share it with those you love, as I'm getting an opportunity to do right now. So thank you so much for joining us. This has been The Real Creofus. Baby girl, what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got a thumbs up. You guys take care and enjoy.